Senior advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign, Katrina Pierson, and former White House communications director and the author of Trump, the Blue-Collar President, Anthony Scaramucci, who is wearing a white collar. I think that was a wardrobe malfunction.
No, it's the closest that the president ever got to a blue collar is a shirt like this. But
okay, anyway.
It's a great title, though.
Anyway, looking very sharp. So the president down there in Florida, and I have to say, he has really left it all out on the field if we're going to go with the sports analogies. And Bobby Ballin, rally after rally after rally, and they have history against him. They have a special counsel. They have a media against him. If they do not win the House, it's not for a lack of trying and effort on the president's part, Anthony.
Oh, I agree with that. And there's a former hedge fund manager that I know named Robert Rodano who had the polling right in 2016 is calling for the Republicans to keep the House. So we'll have to see what happens. But he thinks that the way these polls are done today, there's a little bit of the Bradley effect where people are not going to tell you that they're voting for the Republicans, but in fact they are. And then they're not really administered right in terms of the anonymity of the polling. So let's see what happens. But there are people out there that think that they're going to keep the House, and so that would be big.
So your hedge fund buddy, the guy that nailed it in 2016, is saying the same analytics hold true right now.
Correct.
Is that there's a silent majority out there who don't necessarily talk to pollsters and that don't express their love for Donald Trump that vociferously, but when they get behind the ballot box, the secret ballot, they're going to crank that lever. Katrina, would you agree with that?
Oh, I absolutely agree.
So you're saying they're keeping the House?
I think there's a very good chance that they could keep the House. As you mentioned, the historical context, we've had record number of retirements. Everything is against the party this time. But aside from the people who aren't possibly telling the pollsters exactly what they think, there are so many people all across this country. I've been out there, Jesse. They're telling me, you know, I wasn't on board for President Trump at first, but man, he's doing a good job. There's going to be new supporters for Donald Trump out there.
So you're saying he's adding new voters from the last time around?
He's absolutely
adding new voters. Is that because, do you think, of the economy? Is that because they've warmed personally to his style? What do you attribute that to? Because you've been out there. I'm holed up in the studio all day. I don't go out in the fields anymore.
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you. I think, you know, this whole Russia hoax, people see that there's been a huge injustice to this family, not just the president himself. They see innocent bystanders, people that just took the job, that are, you know, publicly assassinated, their characters, their livelihoods. And people at home are seeing this and they don't like it. And they see the president is doing a great job with the economy, his platform, keeping his promises. People aren't used to politicians keeping their promises and fighting back, even against their own party when necessary.
Well, I mean, he's been the victim of a huge injustice when you think about Spygate and all the things like the media that they throw at him, and the Kavanaugh situation reinvigorated that injustice that was served upon that man. Let's listen again to the president, who's back behind the lectern. Hear what he has to say.
And by the way, you have a very good attorney general right now. You know that, right? Pam. Is Pam great? You like Pam, right, Ash? Okay, then I like you, Ashley. Good luck. I hear you're doing well. Good luck. Very important position. Your next Agriculture Commissioner, Matt Caldwell. Matt, thank you. Great, Matt. Thank you. Florida CFO, Jimmy Petronis. Good luck, Jimmy. Good job. Good job, fellas. And congressmen that helped me so much. They're always with us. They're always fighting for us, and they win. They know how to win, like Bobby. They know how to win. Neil Dunn and Matt Gaetz. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Matt. Great people. So if you don't want to be saying Speaker Pelosi for the next 2 years, vote for Neil and Matt. I hear they're doing pretty well. But never assume, please go out and vote. They've heard that before in this business, right? They're doing well. We don't have to go out and vote. You have that, and then you have suppression, where they suppress the polls. You don't bother to go out and vote. But that didn't happen with us 2 years ago, did it? Huh? That didn't happen. One of the most exciting days in political history. But honestly, one of the highest rated nights in the history of television. A lot of good things happened. But most importantly, what we did is we won, and we won for incredible people in this country, incredible people. They got what they wanted, and we are producing, and we did it together. I didn't do it. We all did it together. This Tuesday, the people of Florida are going to head to the polls to elect an incredible new senator. As your governor, Rick Scott, cut your taxes massively by billions of dollars. Think of it.
Okay, there's President Trump touting Rick Scott, the governor right now, who's running against, I think, what's this guy, the Democrat Nelson, that comes up every 6 years. He wants to be senator again, and then you don't hear from him another 6 years. And that's a tight race. That's dead even. But, Anthony, I wanted to ask you, the president's closing message seems to be beating the immigration drum. But, he's got the Kavanaugh bounce. ISIS has been annihilated. But the economy, this economy is white hot right now. Wage growth is at record highs. There's great paying jobs out there. And we're going to see 3% GDP for the year. Is the economy what's kind of keeping the blue wave at bay, in your opinion?
Well, I think the economy does do that, but I think what the president's worried about is that there's some complacency with all of that good news and prosperity. One of the reasons why presidents lose midterm elections is that complacent voters don't go out and vote, Jesse. It's angry voters that are not in power that rush out to vote. And that's why he's pressing on all of these hot buttons in the last 5 or 6 days, because he wants to get that base back out there. And if you look at the early voting totals,
yeah, it's big, right?
It's off the chart. So he's obviously doing something that's very, very effective. And I don't remember President Obama barnstorming like this, or George W. Bush barnstorming like this. And so it's a new strategy. People 50 years from now are going to study what he's doing. And politicians have to change their playbook because of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I remember Barack Obama staying away from certain campaigns
and
and
Rose Garden strategy more than this kind of a strategy.
Yes, no, this president is definitely out there in the mud.